What? What? Monkey Jones is gonna break your bones. He knows what he's talking about. He got stats, you know. A homegrown stone cold balls out killer and a no doubt thriller living in the back of a distillery.
DGB going green, thinking about life and shit. He's got a big dick, plenty on his mind to spit. So don't doubt his legitimacy. When you see his post, don't think, reshare and retweet.
Holy shit, everybody. Welcome back once again to the third week, 3 consecutive weeks of Insufferable Social Media Argument, the podcast, because social media arguments never end. They last forever. They go on till the end of time. You know, there's never been one that just ended on clear terms. I'm joined, of course, by Monkey Jones.
Hey, everybody. Digibuddy.
Yeah.
How the fuck has this gone on for 3 weeks? I thought it'd be a one-off that we'd both regret and never want to look at again.
Because the first one was better than expected. That's why. I don't know how long this will last.
I mean, better is we can have an argument about whether the podcast is good or not. I'd social media argue about that
another day.
All right, so Digi, do you know who won last week?
Oh, Mumkey.
Did you look at the results, buddy?
I've looked at them.
It's pretty good.
There was a very brief moment where I was winning in the Harambe vote, but no, I believe I lost all 4.
To put it a different way, Mumkey won all 4 of those 4. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? First episode we had a 2-2 tie. That's pretty good. But then in the second episode, I stomped you. It's 0-4.
It was
0-4.
Well, in my defense, I was not at the top of my game on the last show because I was actually dying. Everything I talked about in the slow motion suicide segment was 100% true. I really was almost throwing up through most of the episode, and let's just say my head wasn't in the game as much as it should have been. So this time, for this week's episode of our favorite segment,
Digi, don't move on yet, buddy.
Oh, fine. What do you want?
Because we've got a new segment I want you to introduce. It's a little something I like to call the Boozer Loser.
Oh, no.
Because we both do this show while boozing.
I was going to avoid it this time, so I wouldn't have... I was going to not drink so I could actually have a chance. What are you going to do to me? What do I have to do?
We've both been boozing, but only one of us has been losing. And since I won 4-0, I think it's only fair that motherfucking Digibro has to get punished. What do you say, Digi?
Well, what kind of punishment?
Well, I'm
glad
you asked.
Do I have the materials for it?
Yes, you do, because for your punishment, I wrote up an apology that I want you to read on air. Okay, I'm going to send that to you right now.
So I'm not going to have to drink as punishment here. That's not what's going on.
No, you just have to read this apology for your poor performance in the last episode. Okay. I just sent it to you.
Here we go. God, immediately. Dear everyone, hi. This is Digibro MLP. Yeah, no brony, not Digibrony MLP, whatever. I would like to apologize to all of you for providing such shitty, retarded arguments last week. Thankfully, the much more smarter and talented Monkey Jones was here to keep the podcast entertaining. Sincerely, Digibro MLP. Okay, now this is me talking again and not reading the apology letter. I just want to say real quick that Applejack is definitely the worst character on My Little Pony, and she's a huge dumb cunt, plus she's also gay. Speaking of being gay, I wanted to test your theory that it's only gay if the balls touch, so I went into Ben Saint's room and we rubbed our testicles together, and you were right, Monkey. It totally was gay. P.S. I'm gay.
Well, hey, there we go. Don't know why you included a P.S. at the end of your personal statement, but
end of my unscripted rant.
Hey, there you go. That's the end of my favorite segment on the show, Boozer Loser.
Okay. I really thought you were gonna make me drink something. Like,
I can't control you from here.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I'd do lots of crazy stuff with you and Ben and your testicles.
I would have drank something if you'd made me, but only if I had it.
Let's
get to my favorite segment of the show, the most important one, the first segment we ever did. This segment's like a legacy thing for this show, you know?
I have a feeling it'll be the first and the last.
Yeah. Somehow, even though
we're gonna end it,
the show.
it's gonna suddenly become the fast motion suicide because we'll actually do it.
Well, that's the thing.
In the finale episode.
Last week, I picked up way too much speed. It was too
Way
much.
too fast.
Yeah, I was barreling towards suicide. It was just a little bit much. So this week I'm slowing it down a bit. Instead, I'm killing myself through some thing that I had planned to say 3 days ago but didn't write down anywhere and therefore forgot. I forgot. I forgot my segment. I'm sorry, Mumkey. What are you
You forgot your slow motion suicide?
Yeah, I had an idea and I don't remember what it was.
Well, I mean, I guess I can't wait for you to read next week's apology.
All
right.
How are you killing yourself, Mumkey?
Folks, let me tell you a little bit about Mumkey. Back when I lived in Iowa, my favorite food was motherfucking Popeye's fried chicken and biscuits. I eat fried chicken probably once or twice per week. And now that I'm living in the South, there's this new restaurant chain called Bojangles, which I lovingly refer to as Bojango, because I think it's a better title, better name.
Yeah.
And I had Bojango yesterday, and it just made me sick to my stomach. At first, I thought, oh man, this shit is great. This might be better than Popeyes. It's definitely better than KFC.
Yeah.
But goddamn, if that didn't fuck up my stomach. So I think my slow motion suicide this week was just eating very greasy, fattening fried chicken that made me feel like I was actually dying.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much all fast food will do that to you. That was
Well, this was a special occurrence because I eat fast food 4 times a week, and I've never felt like that before.
Maybe you're just getting old, Mumkey.
Yeah, 21.
Well,
it's the new 40.
When I was 21, I ate a lot of fast food, but that was also the period where I stopped, like I slowly became less able to handle it. And by the time I was 25, I can't eat any of it anymore. It's all just killer. This is too real.
Sounds terrifying.
Why are we talking about growing old and like our bodies withering and becoming weak, disgusting?
Because this is a comedy podcast, and that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, growing older, dying.
Hey, nothing could be funnier than death, or the scent that's on my breath once I vomit up the Arby's that I walk to get.
All right, you ready to move on to
Yeah, do you have another
this
segment
week's
or
arguments?
anything, or are we gonna?
That's all I got for now.
Start fighting each other. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so last week, we did a bunch of, serious arguments like, are traps gay?
Yeah.
Has Ivanka Trump had a tit job? Harambe. So I thought, in the same spirit of those, let's avoid the serious topics this week and kind of, let's have some fun, do some silly stuff for once. So we're going to start off with debate number 1. Was the missile bombing on the Syrian base justified?
Well, I think that it was probably wrong of them to shoot missiles at their bases.
Okay. Because all your base belonged to us, I think, is what how the saying goes. That's what the Syrian president, Assad, that was his first reply, was all your base belonged to us.
Yeah, I mean, missiles are bad. You don't want to.
Okay.
You don't want missiles on people.
Okay.
Missiles kill people, and so if you.
Yeah, I think that's the purpose.
If you do a missile on a guy, he's dead. And I don't know if we want dead people. I want to be dead people, but other people, I don't know if they want to be a dead people. It should be someone's right to choose whether they're an alive people or a dead people.
Now, Digi, correct me if I'm wrong, but just based on your argument so far, it seems like you don't have any idea what this Syrian missile attack was.
I have no idea what the Syrian missile attack was. I have not heard anything about it.
You have something in common with all of the social media debaters over the last week. You have no idea what the fuck it was, but you have plenty to say about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was bad because it involves missiles and Trump did it. I mean, I love Trump, but people tell me that everything he does is bad. So I've gotten to the point
Trump
where
didn't do it.
I'm starting to think maybe I'm just bad because maybe I'm also a bad,
No way.
No? You think I'm a good?
Okay, do you want to hear a real argument?
Monkey think Digibro a good?
I think you're a something. You're certainly not a grammar this week.
No.
Your grammar gets worse the more sober you are.
I know, it's a baffle.
All right, so clearly you didn't do your research. You don't know what we're talking about. So your stance is dying is a bad?
Yeah. Dying is not a good. Dying is a bad.
All right, no, yeah, that's a fair argument, but I think I have one that's slightly better. So, in my humble opinion, was the attack on the Syrian base justified? I would say it was, but I would also say that it didn't go far enough. He only launched. Trump only launched like 20 million missiles into this one empty airfield. That's retarded. I think.
Wait, so did anybody actually die?
Some like a couple people maybe were injured. I don't know, but I don't think he went far enough. I think we should have a missile strike to destroy the entirety of the Middle East, and here's why. Hear me out. Mm-hmm. So we have the refugee crisis, where all these Syrian refugees are like, hey, our country is completely fucked. Us Muslims need to invade the rest of the world and spread our culture. And I'm thinking, okay, this is the key. This is how humanity survives, is the spread of the Islamist ideals and culture and values. So what if we use our missiles to destroy all of the Middle East?
And then they all have to invade the rest of the world and spread
every
Islam.
Single Islamic person becomes a refugee, and we mass import them into every Western country. Islam thereby saves the world from feminism, protects women by covering them with fucking towels and scarves and shit, and everybody gets to go meet Allah up in heaven. What's the downside of that? I think Trump didn't go far enough.
It's an interesting theory, Mumkey. The only problem with it is that if we bomb the Middle East, like all of it, we're going to lose most of the Muslims. There might not be enough to proliferate the rest of the world. We need to think of a solution to get them out of there without killing the majority of them.
Well, sure, I mean, that's not that hard. They all live in caves. So if you just hide in the cave,
well, all
the
we gotta
missiles probably won't get you.
I've heard that the way that you handle a situation like this, where they all live in caves, is that you take a garden hose and you put it on one of the holes, the entrances, and if you flush it out, it goes through the whole system, and so it makes them flood. Like people have to leave all the caves because all of them get flooded. You understand what I'm saying?
Are you describing how you get rats and bats out of your basement?
No, ants out of an anthill, Mumkey. Come on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, it's actually more. Have you ever seen where they pour concrete into an anthill and then they unearth it and it's this huge fucking maze of interconnected tunnels spanning miles?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the Vietnam tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, if we use concrete, that'll kill all the Muslims, which is the problem we're avoiding. So we just flood the tunnels and get them all out. See, we don't have to. We don't want any of them dead. We don't want to use dangerous stuff like missiles because then how are they going to proliferate their culture? If that's what you want, because I know that's your stance. I don't necessarily want the Muslim proliferation.
We have this modern invention called the iPhone, and you can pick up your iPhone, you can call up all of the Muslim countries and say, hey, we're about to do a missile strike, seek cover. Trump did that. He called up the Syrian base and told the Russians, hey, we're about to bomb the shit out of this place, get the fuck out of there. So I don't see why we couldn't do that for all the Muslims in the Middle East.
Well, I mean, what's even the, couldn't we just threaten them with something else? Why do we have to threaten them with,
No, it's not a threat. We are destroying their cities so that they become refugees, and then we can invite them all into our countries so that they can take over. It's not a threat.
It's a fairly effective strategy. I'll give you that one, Mumkey.
See? Hey.
Am I ever going to win on this show? What?
I don't think so.
I don't even have an argument this time. I'm just trying to fucking find holes in yours, and you're ironclad here. I'm impressed, honestly.
I mean, you lose when you're drunk, you lose when you're sober. I might as well just go get a new co-host at this point. You're not putting up much of a fight, Digi-ho.
Give me another subject, goddammit. Let's argue about something else. I don't know anything about the Syrian missile crisis.
All right, so we solved the Syrian missile debacle. We know what the right answer is. Let's move on to another...
Come to think of it, Mumkey, these insufferable social media debates, most of the time, they end in two people seeing things differently. And therefore, there's a winner and a loser. But if one of the people comes around to the other person's side, doesn't that just mean we're on the same side in the end? We both win, right?
You would think that, but then when the audience votes, they're going to vote for me.
But I didn't really... I mean, in the end, we had the same stance. So if they vote for you, then they're essentially voting for me as well. We're both we're both on the same side.
No, because we started off on opposite sides, and then
we're
I
not voting
convinced
for the
you with my
beginning of the
intellect.
argument. We're voting for how we felt at the end of the argument.
We're voting for the entire of the argument
Yeah.
to see who did a better job.
Well, it's not about who did a better job. It's about who won. You know, if you could represent your argument terribly, but if people agree with the sentiment, you know, if they ultimately, like, you could have a very articulate way of being wrong, but in the end, we felt the same way about the issue. So
So what you're trying to say is, what you're trying to say, Digi, is if they vote for Digibro, then you win, and if they vote for Mumkey, you also win.
I'm saying that we both win, Mumkey, no matter what.
No,
we both win this one.
I disagree.
We're on the same team here.
Nope.
We're
No.
basically
Vote
the
for who you
same
think
guy
won.
at this point.
Let's move
we're a
on to
hive
the next
mind.
social media debate that was hitting Twitter and Facebook over the last 7 days.
Okay.
And this one was recommended to us by a YouTube commenter named Digital Zombies 64, and he wants to know, should the patriarchy be smashed?
No. The
Hey,
patriarchy.
nice to know I'm the only thing on this show that's getting fucking smashed, you know what I'm saying?
Heyo. Patriarchy should have more control. The patriarchy.
Okay.
Everyone, look. The patriarchy is 5 guys, burgers and fries. It's the 5 brothers who run Five Guys Burgers and Fries, run the country. They run everything. They're the patriarchy. Or
Okay.
so it would seem, except that these days it's really the Jews
Are they Jewish?
who run most
that's what
things.
I thought.
And so when people talk about the patriarchy, they're assuming that it's like these old white men, but it's really these old Jewish men who are not white because they're Jewish.
Not white. Right.
So I think that, if anything, a lot of the problems with the world right now is because the wrong men are in control. We need to bring back the patriarchy as opposed to the Jewiarchy. You understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but there's a fundamental flaw in your argument.
Yeah.
Patriarchy, do you know what the word patriarchy means?
Yeah, it means your dad is in control.
Yeah, so pretty much control by a manly figure.
Yeah, a
and
father figure.
It sounds like what you're saying is that the country is still controlled by men. They happen to be Jewish men, but they're still men, so it's still
you can't be
technically a patriarchy.
The patriarchy assumes that you're white. Like, you cannot be the patriarchy if you're not white. Like,
I think patriarchy is specifically men, you know? I
No,
mean, it's
'cause see,
very
the
rare that
people
it
who-
happens.
the word patriarchy-
Digi, it's very rare that it happens, but a black man can be a patriarch.
no.
He just usually
the word
chooses not to.
patriarchy in modern society is only used by social justice warriors, and they only fight against the whites. If you are of any ethnicity other than white, it does not matter what you do, because you are not white, and therefore you are pardoned from social obligation.
But if the true patriarchy is run by minorities like the Jews, then why would the word exist in the first place if it's only a derogative against white men? Wouldn't the social justice warriors be in support of something that gives minorities power?
Because patriarchy is supposed to be a compliment. It's supposed to be a compliment to say, wow, you know, these white men are doing such a great job running the world. Let's allow them to stay in power. But we didn't take the white men out of power and replace them with someone even better. In the shadows, the Jews took over. We didn't know about it. We didn't vote for this, you know? This sidestepped the whole political system and everything that our country stands for. So, you know, if we could take out the people who are in power, like if we could recognize what's happened, if we could realize that the patriarchy that we love is not actually in power, and that the people trying to tell us to smash the patriarchy are part of a covert resistance movement, or rather a power movement by the people who are in power are planting those people to placate us. They're trying to convince us that we don't want what we want. They're trying to teach us that we should be happy with this new system and that we should continue to push the patriarchy away. And they're so determined that they haven't even revealed themselves as the ones really in control. They're trying to make us think that this organization, the patriarchy, who already is out of power, we're just trying to smash them further and further into the dirt so that they'll never be able to show up again. That's what they're trying to make us do. But if we can recognize it and we can turn the tide on them, then we have a chance of putting the patriarchy back in power.
Okay, Digi, let's try to unpack what you've exposed here today.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the original patriarchy was the five guys who
Yes.
own Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
Yes.
Second, the power to control America was usurped from the Five Guys
By the Jews.
by male Jews.
Yes.
So your solution to the question, should the patriarchy be smashed, is that no, it should be upheld by giving the power back to the Five Guys
Yes.
Burgers and Fries?
Yes. Go
See,
buy Five Guys.
Now, here's
Because
the
it's
thing.
not
when it
fast
comes,
food. Unlike fast food, it doesn't make you feel like you're gonna die. You know.
Sure.
Five
But
Guys actually.
let me
gives you
spell this
life.
out for you, Digi. When it comes to being ruled by any sort of elite class, I want a ruler who is competent. That's why I voted for Trump. He's the most competent ruler we've
Trump
had
is one
in
of the
last...
Five Guys. Trump is part of our mission to get them back in
listen.
control.
Listen, I want my rulers to be competent. Now, when I think of Five Guys Burgers and Fries, they aren't competent because they
What?
aren't even in... They're not even in every state in the United States. We just
They're
got
only
one
in
in
the good
Iowa
ones.
last year.
Yeah, Iowa.
Only in the good
Iowa
ones.
only
No,
recently
if they
became
were, If they were
okay.
true rulers who had the capabilities to control all of America, you would think that their money laundering scheme of this burgers and fries operation would be there'd be 30 of them in every single town
no,
in America.
you're-
But there
you're-
are entire states that don't even have
You're
one.
completely misunderstanding the purpose of Five Guys. Five Guys is meant to be a reward for good citizenship. Five Guys only
so
comes to
nobody in Iowa deserves a reward.
No, because they fucking helped the Jews. If Iowa was in support, the reason that we only now are getting Five Guys in Iowa is because Iowa recently became a red state, right?
Because they voted for Trump,
They voted
yeah.
for Trump, yeah. So that's why we
Right.
built the Five Guys there, because we're
You're welcome.
rewarding them for making the right decision and helping the patriarchy to come back.
All right, did you want to hear a real answer to this question?
No.
All right. Mumkey is asked, should the patriarchy be smashed? And I would say, wholeheartedly.
Why?
Now, the question...
What are you, a Jew?
The question... Listen. The question, should the patriarchy be smashed, is irrelevant because we are not living in a patriarchy. We are living in a matriarchy. Do you know what a matriarchy is?
I do.
What is it?
That is the coalition of Muslim women who are trying
Nope.
to take over the world, who you support.
No, that's not what that is. Matriarchy is the opposite of patriarchy. So instead of, a father figure being in control, it's a mother figure. And let me tell you why. I got some motherfucking stats for you. Yet again, I got real stats. These stats come to us from
I got a stats for you.
toplists.com. Reliable news source. Listen up. Here's evidence that we're living in a matriarchy where the control is in the women's hands and society is shit for men. Did you know that 60% of college bachelor's degrees go to women? Huh? So the women are the ones getting educated?
Doesn't that
Sounds
just
like a
mean that the
matriarchy to
men
me.
are making masters instead? Like they're going farther with their education.
No, because you have to get a bachelor's degree in the first place in order to get a master's.
Are they counting people who've gone? I think if you went to the next step, I think a lot of those men might just be jumping right over bachelors and going straight to masters. You know?
I don't know. I tried that. They said I couldn't with an English degree, but I don't know.
That's
Maybe
'cause
it was
it's an
just
English
me.
degree. That's a very
Listen,
a very cowardly women's degree, Bubky. I'm sorry.
Did you know that 93% of workplace deaths are men? Oh, what kind
We
of
do
society
harder jobs.
What kind of a society has men in control where they're the ones who are fucking getting killed at all their fucking barbarian jobs?
No, they're not getting killed. They're laying down their lives. All right, men are keeping this country
like
running.
a slave. We're slaves to the matriarchy, laying
No,
down our lives,
we're
doing work so that
things
the women
look,
can
if,
live happily.
If women were the only ones around, they literally physically couldn't do anything. The society wouldn't be able to move. Our men are sacrificing themselves so that the next generation of men can live, so that the next Elon Musk or whoever who's going to take us to the future, the next man of brains, can only come from a society that functions well enough so that they don't have to be men of brawn who have to lay their lives down like the men were losing.
So the people who lay around doing nothing are the dumb ones, and the people who are working the brutal, hard jobs and dying are the smart ones? Do you remember what slavery was? It was kind of the opposite of that.
don't remember saying that they were
The
dumb
stupid people
ones.
worked hard and died, and the smart people sat back in their big old mansion and just watched the slaves get killed. It was funny to them.
I never
They were
said
the smart
anything
ones.
about
That's
their
what
not.
women are doing today. Men are the slaves to women in the matriarchy. I got another stat for you, buddy. Did you know that 70% of homeless people are men? Are fucking men.
That's because men don't need the comfort of a house to make it. We can just go out on our own. You know, like we can just weather the storms. That's why we've got all this hair.
Yeah, if men are so smart, how come they can't even sleep under a roof?
We don't need a roof. Fuck a roof. What kind of pussy needs a roof?
Have you ever seen a homeless woman holding up a cardboard sign that said, "I'm a faggot, give me $1"? No.
No, I haven't.
Have you ever seen a homeless man with a big old scraggly beard and a jacket that he stole off of another dead homeless man? Have you ever seen him hold up that sign?
No, I've never seen the sign, "I'm a faggot, give me $1" before.
You've probably seen it. That man's name
Was Ben Saint?
was Ben Saint. Hey, you want to hear another stat that proves we're living in a matriarchy where society approves of women
I
and
don't
men
feel
get
like you've
shit on?
proven anything with these random stats, Bubkeeper. You can
Did
go
you know
ahead.
that women? Did you know that women win 85% of custody battles? Huh?
Yeah, we don't want those fucking things.
I don't know. Some people want kids. You know, have a son. You
Yeah,
can raise
that's
him
the
to be a real man.
15%. Yeah.
No, because men are having sons, and then the women are stealing the sons and raising them to be slaves in the matriarchy. It's disgusting.
We're just, Mumkey, we need lots of cogs to keep our gears rolling. And if we have to sacrifice a few kids, it's unfortunate, but, it's all part of our play to keep things going the way that they have to go. We have to have some kids who, live with single parents and never really make it anywhere in life and end up working some shitty dead-end job because someone has to work those dead-end jobs. So we have to keep, perpetuating a system by where, not everyone can be a pampered rich kid who grows up to be an artist, because then we have nobody to flip the fucking pizzas,
Listen, Digi, all I'm saying, and first of all, you don't flip pizzas, I don't think. That'd probably ruin
You're
all the
not sure.
toppings. But
You toss
but,
a pizza.
all I'm saying
Like
is that
you toss a pizza salad,
these stats cannot exist within a patriarchy. What kind of society that is ruled by men and where men are privileged? What kind of society has all these privileges for women where men just get fucking...
Mumkey,
did you ever hear anybody talk about the homeless problem with men?
Men
No.
work in mysterious ways, Mumkey. I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe you're like some kind of cross-chromosomal, like you don't have all the brain power. Maybe you're one of our sacrifices to the cause, but if you...
I am half man, half monkey.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the lack of... maybe it's because half your brain's not human. You aren't aware of the things that we're thinking of, that we're perpetuating. The patriarchy is all about... It's a system that bleeds through all of society. It's about holding power everywhere. It's about, making sure that our agenda gets fulfilled in every corner of the world. And sometimes it's not obvious how we're going about our business.
Well, like the agenda of not being homeless and not losing our kids and not dying at work and not getting college degrees. Those agendas.
We're being homeless because we want to, Mumkey. I don't know why
That's
you're
why
so
they're
attached
holding
to
up
the idea of a
signs saying,
home.
"I'm a faggot, give me $1," because he wants
Easy
to be
way to
poor.
make $1. You ever seen what some of those guys make? Those panhandlers? You can make...
I mean, that's pretty much Ben Saint's Patreon.
You can make hundreds a day just standing on a corner doing fucking nothing, eating McDonald's and fucking getting handouts.
So I think what you're saying, Digi, is if you're a man out there and you think that evidence of a patriarchy is being homeless and dying on the job, then vote for Digi. And if you think that these are problems in society, vote for Mumkey.
I think our voters will be representative of the gender disparity in our audience here.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I have about 50-50 men and women in my audience.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the percentages are, how they stack
All right,
up.
did we settle that debate then? Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I guess so.
Here's another really big debate we've seen nonstop in the media. You turn on CNN, they're talking about this nonstop. This question comes to us from Sheepolution in the comments, who wants to know, is it okay to be a cuck?
No.
Why do you think no?
It's gay.
I thought it was only gay if the balls touch. You agreed to that earlier in that non-written thing that you said of your own accord.
I think that whatever your balls have touched, if another man's balls touch that, that's essentially the same thing.
Like secondhand kissing.
Exactly. It's like when you're having sex with a girl and your balls are banging up against her snatch, you know,
Happens all the time.
Some of your fucking pubes get stuck in there, you know, your skin flakes are on there. Essentially, your balls are still there, you know? And if you're letting another guy smash that puss and get his balls all over where your balls were, you're basically fucking that guy, you know? What, are you going to have sex with that girl afterwards? After some other guy has been in there and messed up the place, you know? Like, the appeal of sex is that feeling of, like, this is the hole for my dick, you know? It's formed to fit you. It's been trained to know the shape of your cock. And you're going to let some other guy with a probably much bigger dick get in there. Bigger. Yeah, and fucking change the size. Yeah. And you're going to get in there. You're going to feel all small and inadequate in this cavern. You're going to hear, like, you know, you're going to hear the space between your dick and the top of her pussy where you can hear the liquid dripping down like in a cave, like, you know, like from a stalactite, because you're not filling in enough space.
These are the things I think about during sex.
Yeah, same. What do you think? Do you think being a cuck's okay, Mumkey? I can't imagine you do.
Digi, believe it or not, I both completely agree and disagree with you, and that might seem like some sort of
works.
No, you'll see, because you made the classic mistake when you heard the word cuck. You instantly thought, oh, it's a man who is letting his girl sleep with another man, but that's not what it has to be. A cuck is just somebody who gets cheated on by their spouse. I think there should be government-instated cuckolding so that men can have sex with any woman they want, and we'll be doing this as revenge for the matriarchy that we're trapped in. So listen up, Digi. You might agree with this. Women.
Hold on, I need to have the mechanics of this explained to me real quick.
Listen up. So women cannot cheat on you with any man they want. They can't cheat on you at all. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, she can only fuck you. But you, on the other hand, have free reign to fuck any girl you want. You can cuck your girl, but she can't cuck you.
I don't know if women can be cucks.
Nope, it's true. They can. Look it up in the dictionary.
I mean, what do they care? If your dick goes into another girl, it's not going to change the shape of your dick. It's not going to make your dick all weird and different. You know,
it sounds like you're arguing in support of me. So what? They get cucked and nothing bad happens? Okay, sounds good to me.
I'm just saying it's not.
Last thing I want is a woman being all whiny because I fucked some other bitch. I just want her to be okay with it.
You would have to give that another word. You can't just use cuck. Cuck has this percussive, visceral. It's an insult. Cuck can only exist as an insult. Cuck could never be a compliment. You can't tell somebody,
how is it a compliment? A woman getting cucked is just as bad as a man being cucked, and it's not a compliment either way. But
a woman doesn't care if her guy goes and has some sex with some other woman. She won't even know. He's not. What is he gonna tell her? Is he gonna come home and be like, "Oh, I fucked some other girl"?
Of course, she's gonna know because it's government instated. I want the government to force men to cheat on their spouses so that they can prove their superiority over women once and for all. They're not even
gonna feel any emotional weight from that.
Good. The last thing I need is a bitch crying when she should be making my dinner.
What is she even? What? How is she facing any negative consequences?
It's not about making the woman feel bad. It's about making me feel good that I can fuck any bitch that I want.
But then calling her a cuck is pointless because cuck only matters if it makes you feel bad.
That's it. A cuck is somebody who gets cheated on. Their spouse fucks somebody else.
Strong disagreement on what the word cuck should only be used as a negative. It should never be a positive thing.
Negative.
If you're
that dumb bitch is getting cheated on and she doesn't even care.
But she doesn't feel like it's a negative. So? It's only an insult is only an insult if you feel offended. If you are upset that someone called you that. If someone calls me a cuck, I'll punch them in the cunt.
No. If I call a prostitute a whore, I'm trying to offend her. If she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a whore and I'm proud," it's still an insult. She just doesn't take it that way.
It's only an insult to your values. It has to be an insult to their values to be a real insult.
It doesn't have
if
to
you
be,
call
no.
someone
It's
a
all about
whore
intention.
and they own it, then it doesn't even matter anymore. There's no bite. You've got to hit her with something that'll actually cripple her.
No, it's all about intention. Digi, let's say hypothetically you were the type of white person who spouted off the N-word once or twice, you know.
Yeah.
Your intention is
the nigger word.
Your intention is what's important. If you call a black person the N-word with a bad intention, then whether they take that as an insult or not, it's still an insult. But if you're just saying it academically and that's your intention, then who cares if they get insulted? Because it's all about your intention.
No,
the other person doesn't matter.
It just ceases to be a swear word at that point. It's only an insult if they're insulted. You know, if I call a black guy, like if I'm like, oh, you nigger, and they're like, oh, I don't care, then it's like, well, there's no power then. It has no power. You know, if nobody cared about the words being used on them, then those words would lose all power, and we wouldn't even have any pejoratives anymore, because none of them would mean anything. Nobody would care. It's only really effective if someone's mad, if someone is getting attacked. That's when it becomes a pejorative. And cuck, we need to preserve the sanctity of it as a pejorative. It needs to be insulting, and it needs to be able to ruin people's lives, because if we water it down, if we make it milquetoast and nobody cares about being called a cuck, then the word's lost all fucking meaning.
It still means a lot to men, because men are the operative operators in this scenario. We only care about men not getting cucked.
Then,
we only want men to not get cucked. If a man gets cucked, it's going to be traumatic and terrible. But we could cuck the women to get revenge for how they're controlling us in the matriarchy.
Look, if I'm going to stand around the water cooler with my bros and be like, yeah, dude, I totally cucked my wife.
Hell yeah.
I need to know that my wife would be crippled if she knew that.
No, you don't want that. The women should be cucked because they're too stupid to take it emotionally. Because the last thing you want is an emotional woman. How can an emotional, crying, sobbing woman clean your clothes, make you food, clean the house, give you a hand
job? I just get another one. They grow on trees.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the fucking government instituted fucking cucking. When your wife is being a dumb bitch, you can go fuck some other girl. It's the perfect system.
If I can't have the imagery of a crying
it's all
woman
about imagery
on her
and
knees,
symbolism for you fucking
if I can't have a woman crying on her knees in the background as I shut the door and walk out of her life, then what's the point?
So what's your position on this one? No, it's not okay to be a cuck unless you're a woman?
You should never be a cuck at all. Well, it's just that women don't care. But we need to preserve the sanctity of cuck as an cuck. Being a cuck should always be a bad thing, or else the word will lose meaning.
Okay, I guess we'll see how the votes go on this one. I think most people would agree that, you know, men should be able to fuck whoever they want, regardless of their social standing and their relationship status.
I don't disagree. I just think it should make the women feel bad when we do it.
Okay, well, let's move on to the final debate of this episode. This one comes... Speaking of girlfriends, this one comes to us from Sheep over in the comments. Great fan of the show, friend of you and me.
You cuck her yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting for the government instituted cuckolding.
You pussy! You won't do it. You won't do it unless the government says okay.
Well, yeah, because I want to be able to give the excuse. Cuck. No, because that's the genius of it. You have the excuse. Well, sorry, honey, the government said I had to. It's law that I have to go fuck all these women.
You need an excuse. Exactly. Yeah. That's what makes you a lib cuck. You're waiting for Big Daddy government to give you permission.
No, excuses are good. To do bad things, you need excuses. Anyway, the final debate tonight, probably the most important one thus far. You know, we've talked about the Syrian missile attack. We've talked about the patriarchy. Talked about cuckolding. But here's the most serious debate, probably of the whole show thus far. What is the most useful farm animal? And I've got the perfect one, but I want you to go first because if you go first, I automatically
win.
Well,
you go first. You already have an idea.
Fuck you.
I haven't thought about it yet.
Okay, Digi, let me ask you. You know, since you got to figure out what your answer is, let me ask you. When you think of a good farm animal, what sorts of traits come to mind? What should this farm animal do for humanity to make it the best? What are some examples that come to mind for you?
Edible.
Okay.
Fuckable.
Okay.
Fast.
Okay.
Yeah, that's most of what I got.
Okay, well, the animal I chose is all three of those, plus a whole lot more. I legitimately picked the best one of all time, and it's impossible for you to win. The best farm animal, the most useful farm animal of all time, is the goat. The goat is the goat farm animal, if you know what I mean. You're laughing now, but let me tell you why. Every single thing you could imagine a farm animal being useful for, a goat does. Goats give you milk. Goats give you cheese. You can use a goat's fur to make you a blanket. You can use a goat's fur to make you clothing. You can eat goat's meat. You know, they're really good in all sorts of fucking stews and gyros and shit. You can use their hides after you shave them and kill them, and you make all your clothes with their fur. You can use their hide to make leather. They've got motherfucking horns on their head. Those are like built-in swords. Does a fucking pig have a built-in sword? I don't think so. Does a chicken have a built-in sword? I think not. They eat garbage. Oh, you got a fucking tin can laying around and you got a bunch of beer cans laying around your yard? Like, did you, bro? Get a fucking pet goat. He'll go eat that shit. And then, he ate all the tin cans in your yard. But now you have to go mowing? Oh, mowing's gay. Not anymore. The goats, they'll eat the grass too. They automatically mow your lawn. The goats, when they poop, it helps the plants grow. So they eat up your shitty grass, they'll eat up your beer cans, then they'll take a shit in your yard, it'll turn into nutrients and minerals for the soil, and it'll grow a bunch of big, beautiful plants. And last but not least, you're not going to believe this, but goats can climb mountains. Can a cow climb a mountain, Digi?
No, a cow cannot climb a mountain.
Hey, Digi, can a pig climb a mountain?
I don't know.
Hey, Digi.
I haven't seen all the baby movies. So
can a chicken climb a mountain? No.
You could flap its way up.
The goat is the only one that can climb a mountain, make milk, be eaten as food, turn into clothes, all this shit. Every possible good thing that a farm animal does, the goat does. And he does it with confidence, and he does it with pride because he has that big, beautiful billy goat beard, and they're fucking great. And I implore you to find a farm animal that's better than the goat.
Well, Monkey, you've put up an incredible argument. I'll give you that.
You can't beat it.
I think the goat is quite possibly the goat. But I gotta say, I mean, I might be fighting against the tide here on this one. Like, it's possible that...
I mean, I haven't even gotten into, having sex with them yet. I'm so pro-Muslim, I'm surprised I didn't go straight to that.
Well, I think a lot of people are going to agree with you, and I don't blame them. Goat's a great choice. It might be a close second to my choice.
Nope.
But if people really think about it, if they really sit down and think, I think they'll realize that the best farm animal is Twilight Sparkle.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Twilight Sparkle is a farm animal who has wings, therefore she can fly. So, no need to climb a mountain. I mean, she has climbed mountains, as depicted in the documentary about this amazing farm animal, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. She can fly up mountains. She can use magic. She can do, practically anything with magic. Just whatever you want. Oh, you want your yard clean? Yeah, she can just, her horn glows a little and all that trash is gone. I can just cut it with magic. She can do basically anything. She can talk. She can hold conversations.
Yeah, that's what I need. One more woman in my life who can talk. Genius.
Highly intelligent. Has libraries worth of knowledge about anything you need. She's a human Wikipedia, except not human. Pony Wikipedia. And she, when you're fucking nailing her, she's not going the whole time and making obnoxious sounds. She's actually, she's got the voice of a 40-something-year-old giant-titted angel, Tara Strong. Her voice comes out of Twilight Sparkle when you have sex with her. So, yeah, I think Twilight Sparkle can pretty much do anything a goat could do with ease, if, in a second. So, I think the goat is the goat. I'll give you that goats are great. But
greatest
Twilight,
of all
in terms
time,
of just
is what
objective quality, I think Twilight's got it in the bag.
All right, Digi, I'm listening to your argument, and I think I've got you on this one. I agree with you. If you're comparing the usefulness, because that's the question, what's the most useful farm animal?
Yeah.
Goats and Twilight Sparkle? Yeah, that was the question. Goats and Twilight Sparkle, they're about dead even. I'll agree with you on that. They have so many benefits that they both provide. But here's the thing that you forgot.
Okay.
Once we realize that all the benefits about equal out, then we have to start looking at the disadvantages. Goats, they don't have any. Twilight Sparkle, on the other hand, it has been scientifically proven that overexposure to Twilight Sparkle causes autism, and that's a huge negative.
But I'm already autistic, so if it's useful to me, then what's the difference?
Because the question isn't what's the most useful farm animal to Digibro. It's the most useful farm animal in general. You're not even a fucking farmer, so your opinion barely even matters.
What's wrong with being autistic, Mumkey? We're all on the spectrum.
What's wrong with it is that it gives you too many entitlements in the government. They'll give you a bunch of free college. That's bad for the economy.
Only if you're like severely autistic. Twilight Sparkle only causes mild autism. Twilight Sparkle causes you like, I'm gonna quit my job and become a YouTuber autism. She doesn't inspire like, I'm gonna, well, never mind. I was gonna say she doesn't inspire, I'm gonna dye my hair blue, start calling myself a woman, and pepper spray people at GameStop autism, but she can get close.
Oh, are you recognizing a flaw with your own farm animal choice?
Well, I'm not sure that that being autistic is such a bad thing. Unless it gets really severe. And I think Twilight Sparkle can edge you closer to that severe autism, but she can't just bring you there by herself. If you just have Twilight Sparkle, you'll be fine. If you start involving like Sonic the Hedgehog in there, you might, jump off the deep end.
Okay, so
you just got to use your Twilight Sparkle with intelligence and moderation. Know what you're getting into, know the risks, but embrace
shut
the benefits.
Fuck up, you fucking autistic retard. Listen. This is what the entire argument is going to hinge on. I found one disadvantage, ever so slight as it may be, being autistic, ever so slight of a disadvantage of Twilight Sparkle. So I think the only way you can possibly win this is for you to find a bigger disadvantage with goats.
That's a false equivalency
because not.
Twilight has more advantages than the goat.
No,
that's like saying saying something that's flawless but is an 8 out of 10 is better than something that is a 10 out of 10 but has one flaw. Like Twilight is so far beyond what a goat is capable of. That that one disadvantage barely even registers in the face of being able to fly and fucking shoot lasers and shit.
All right, everybody at home, while you're voting, keep in mind, Digibro could not think of a disadvantage to goats. Just keep that in mind when you're voting. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But keep in mind that Twilight Sparkle can fly and shoot lasers and is a better lay than a goat.
Who needs to fly when you can climb a mountain?
She can climb a mountain, too.
Climbing a mountain was the original flying. Before the Wright brothers came around, people climbed mountains just to feel like they could fly. It's the same thing.
She can do both.
All right, what do we have next, Digi? That's enough debating for this week. We'll let the audience decide, who
I
was
believe
right
we have
wrong.
some voicemails that have been sent into the show.
God damn it, of course we do.
I feel like listening to some of those.
Okay, well, we got a shit ton, so let's figure out how we're going to do this.
All right, this first one comes from Meet Me Vice Versa.
Let me...
Here,
okay, I found it.
I'll repost... Oh,
yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, on the count of 3, I guess we'll give it a listen. 1, 2, 3, go.
You may be generally unhappy and disappointed when you're not given the special favors or admiration
very
you believe
foreign.
you deserve.
Yeah.
A closed door, unconsciously laid on the floor. What is the time? Monkey upload. Low quality, what is this shit? No paradigm, go hit the road. Kid was hit, please don't deny you.
Is he putting on this voice or is it his actual voice?
That was pretty gay.
No, he sounds like a regular.
It was a quote by Digibro. He will unload after you blow. Shooting little kids, role play the 8. This is haram, K on this shit. Just like these rhymes.
I know, okay, I'm stopping it. I can't understand what is the meaning of these words. Like,
I don't get it either.
He says, just like these rhymes, nothing in this rhymes. None of it means anything. Like, it's got a lot of production put into it for something so totally incomprehensible. And I don't know, are you going to link to these on the page so that people can see this guy's avatar? Because he looks like, assuming this is him, he looks like a 14-year-old scene kid, but he sounds like a 30-year-old Norwegian guy. It's very confusing.
So was his voicemail like a criticism of one of us, or was it just the song? He said low quality something. Was it like in reference to my microphone quality, or I don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, well.
It says, Monkey Optical, low quality, what is this shit? No paradigm. Got hit the road. A kid was hit. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. Babby's first English language song.
Future callers, maybe send us stuff that makes any sense at all in any context. Let's move on to the next one from Doughboy90210.
Okay,
this one's thankfully much shorter. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey y'all, it's me again, your bud. Just checking in, letting you know. Just got back from the doctor. Turns out I'm autistic.
Big surprise.
All right, guys, checking out.
See, that's evidence right there of the dangers of Twilight Sparkle, overexposure.
How do you know he watched your channel? He didn't. Oh, Jesus, it auto-played into his next, into his one from the previous show where he sent us a 5-minute ramble. I'm glad he took our advice. He kept it concise this time.
Sure.
That was nice.
If I have to assume the sequence of events here, I'd say he listened to the podcast. He's like, oh, who's this Digibro fellow? Let's take a look. Oh, what's his oldest video? My Little Pony review. Bam, goes to the doctor, he has autism.
On my channel. But have you ever been to a doctor that
diagnosed you with autism?
Diagnoses you with autism, by the way.
Last time I went to the doctor. Every time I go to the doctor.
Impressive. All right, we got one more from Scott.
Okay.
Scott. This one's like 2 minutes, so I haven't screened this at all. So
well, let's see what we got.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the biggest problem in the universe. I'm Maddox.
It is Maddox.
With me is Dick
there
Masterson. Hey, what's up, buddy? And Sean, our audio
I thought
engineer.
They didn't like each other anymore.
Now, Dick, this week we only have one problem, and that is a fat fucker and a half monkey rip off our podcast. Shouldn't it be fat fucker and
I'm noticing
monkey
that Dick
man
and Maddox sound a lot alike these days.
Off our podcast? Mr. Jaren Man over here always correcting me. And besides, isn't imitation the sincerest form of flattery? You love yourself so much. Why don't you love this idea? No. This Digiblow guy tries to copy my podcast, my fantastic
Not even
podcast, and he doesn't even sell the main joke. They argue forever, and they don't even rant or discuss properly with research.
What?
They're too busy
I do that all the
laughing
time.
at their
You've
own
got
jokes that they
Monkey
can't
Jones
even
has got the
bother
stats,
to get
you know?
angry
Yeah, it's in the theme song.
or feel that righteous indignation about their problems. What? Are you serious? They ripped us off and they're not even getting pissed off?
I really
Sounds
legitimately
like a bunch
can't
of
tell which one is
effing
which
pussies
anymore.
To me.
This is Dick.
Who are these a-holes?
Okay.
Do they even know how to get angry? Yeah, and they clearly have the potential to be angry. This Diggy Bro guy has spent more time ranting about some steak sauce of an anime than he has probably getting laid in his entire life.
That's actually true.
Meanwhile,
this
this Frumpy Jones, or whatever he calls himself, he ends all of his videos with a huge rant.
What?
All right. I've heard
Since when do I do that?
Ditzy Bro, I dedicate every time someone says, Dick, go fuck yourself, at the end of the voicemails, to you. That's right.
A lot.
Fuck you, Digibro. And Mumkey,
I don't think we're going to get a lot
back
of Dick go
ever
fuck yourself on our show.
saying your name on the podcast. Your name should only be spoken in scorn.
Wait, was that Dick
Anyway,
or Maddox?
Dick, that's my problem. Go vote it up.
It sounded
Last
like
problem in biggest problem.
It sounded like Maddox, but
again.
Dick was the one who
All right.
mentioned your
Goodbye,
name on a
everybody. Thanks for
podcast,
listening.
not
Yeah,
Maddox.
yeah, I've been mentioned on Dick's podcast like 3 fucking times. I don't know why Maddox would say
I was
that.
on Maddox's podcast.
Yeah, but not by
I got
name.
asshole of the week one time.
Douchebag of the week.
douchebag. Like, I watched that show.
So what, do you think that we're a ripoff of Biggest Problem? I've seen that complaint a lot. No, because
Biggest Problem in the Universe was about arguing issues. This is about... See, there's Biggest Problem in the Universe where they try to suss out like whether something is or isn't a problem.
Right.
Then there's The Best Debate, where he debates two different sides of an issue by himself.
Right.
But our show is that we look at internet arguments and we try to represent the sides that we've seen on the internet.
Exactly.
You know, like we're representing like we read through like hundreds and hundreds of Facebook posts every week, and we sort of like figure out which stance that we see people having that we agree with the most, and then we try to represent that stance by like, you know, we're basically speaking for the internet. We're speaking on behalf of everyone else who has these same thoughts and opinions and trying to finally come to a conclusion. You know, like we're trying to make it so these debates don't have to rage on forever because, you know, the arbiters of each side's ideas can suss it out, and then our fans can vote, and then we have a consensus. You know, we never would have stopped arguing about whether Jesus was gay if not for the fact that, you know, we had the argument and the studies came in and it came back positive, and it's like, yeah, Jesus was gay. That's now an objective fact that we can all agree on, you know?
I think every time the audience votes on this show, whatever side they vote with becomes an objective fact.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
I think it's important because
in all 4 categories last week, I mean, whatever, the truth has come out, you know? And I can go on disagreeing with it like some kind of weird religious person or something, but you know I'm intelligent, all right?
Once we have these debates and the audience votes, we end these debates once and for all. Never again will anybody on the internet ever have to argue about cuckolding or the patriarchy, because we just settled it today. Whether the audience votes for you or me, we settled it once and for all. That's the whole point of this show. We're not creating problems and discussing them. We're creating solutions. We're ending these debates and finding true answers.
Like, honestly, if I had to find an alternate title for this show, I'd call it The Biggest Solution in the Universe.
Sure. Yeah, that hasn't been taken.
Yeah. That's a totally original.
Nobody's done that.
Yeah.
All right, Digi. If we were going to bring in comments this week, I forgot. I didn't look up any comments.
Yeah, I totally blanked on that. We're already at an hour, so, you know, I'm punching my clock.
All right. Hey, everybody. So, hey, we did it again. Be sure to, down in the comments, let us know what debates you want to see us argue next week. And don't forget to go to the straw polls in the description to vote for who you think won each of today's 4 debates.
I'm feeling a little bit more confident this time. I feel like at least one of these I might have a chance on. I'm starting to feel a little bit like Dick towards the beginning of Biggest Problem when he was just getting blown out every week.
No. Time out. That's big foul. You cannot compare yourself to Dick because that makes me the Maddox, and I'm certainly not the Maddox.
You're the one with all the stats, buddy.
No, because this is how it works. Because Maddox was the big, famous, popular guy who brought in Dick, not so popular, and then by the end of the show, Dick was more popular.
Yeah, Maddox brought Dick onto his channel in order to have him on a show.
A famous guy brought an unfamous guy onto his show, and that's what we're doing here.
Oh, so is this my show on your channel?
Yeah, that's why you introduce it.
All right, how about, you know, we'll just have to say we're both the Maddox on this show.
All I'm saying is...
I'll advertise this show as it's like if you had 2 fucking Maddoxes on the same show arguing with each other.
All I'm saying is you better not disavow your book or tell me I can't come on episode 77.
No, we'll be... 77?
Yeah, that's the episode that Dick got kicked off, right?
Oh, yeah.
I do have a quick question for you, Digi. Real quick while we're still on air. What do you say, you know, one of these days we start making some money from this shit? Like, what would stop us from selling a bonus episode for, like, literally 99 cents? I bet we could make, like, a quick $5 off that shit.
Nothing is stopping us if we find a pay model for it.
Yeah.
Copy what they did on Biggest Problem.
Hell yeah.
Like
hey, I don't see why not, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if people want to hear, you know, 4 extra debates per month... They can throw in like 99 cents.
4 extra debates per month? Or it's going to be 8 episodes a month is what you're proposing?
No, you get...
Oh, you mean 4 extra sub... Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I processed that as 4 extra podcasts.
No.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, well, if you guys want an extra monthly show, yeah, let us know in the comments if you'd be willing to pay $1 for that.
Yeah, okay.
And if like 10 people say yes, then that's probably enough to justify.
Oh, hell yeah. For $5, you better believe I would do this shit. One extra time a week. Anyway, that's all for tonight. We'll see you guys next week. We'll see who won. Hopefully it was the right guy. Hopefully it was Mr. Mumkey Jones. Vote with your heart, not with your mind.
Monkey Jones is gonna break your bones. He knows what he's talking about. He got stats, you know. A homegrown stone cold balls out killer and a no doubt thriller living in the back of a distillery.
Digi B going green, thinking about life and shit. He's got a big dick, plenty on his mind to spit. So don't doubt his legitimacy. When you see his post, don't think we share and retweet.